Hello my friends, this is Ian and welcome back finally to another creature creation session. If you follow me on social media or anything, then you'll probably have heard that I've had a few technical difficulties over the last few weeks. And to try and cut a long story short, essentially two of my hard drives tried to eat each other. And the net result of that was that I lost pretty much all data stored on those drives and every project that I've worked on in the last year, and unfortunately that includes a project that I started in February, which was going to be a short game-like thing I was creating for the future creature creations on Twitch. Unfortunately, now because I've lost the source code, that game is nothing but a dream. I did have one copy, a single copy, backed up on the cloud. It's pre-compiled, so I can't go back and edit it or change any of the code, but what it is a beta version of the game, and that is what I am bringing you today. And to help me do that, I am joined once again by Katelyn McCaigue. Hey, Katelyn.
Hey, how are you doing, man?
Hey, well, yeah,
Could be
I'm
better.
surviving. For this collaboration, Katelyn and I've given her a copy of the game, and I'm going to be generating some prompts for her using it, and she's going to be generating some prompts for me using it. So this is the first time I really get to see how well other people are able to use this game in its beta state.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it out and see how it works. So, at least from the little breakdown you gave me, we get to choose like how many cockroaches survive and all this stuff. Do you want to, I guess, tell them about the game?
Going back a few weeks, Katelyn and my community were asked to generate a list of prompts that I have plugged into this game. There are about 700 in total, and each round of the game chooses 100 of those 700 to go forward into however many prompts that you want. So we've gone for 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you can choose whether or not we have huntsmen. Now, I suggest we go for the huntsman. These guys will just run into the arena of death that I've created, and you can set them to a countdown and different spawn rates. So I reckon let's go high volume of them and a 30-second countdown. It's up to Katelyn then to set up the arena, so off you go.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and you can move around with the WAS and D keys as well.
Cool. And then we can add...
So you can look around the arena. Yeah.
We'll add all the different traps. Let's go for like...
Yeah. If you right-click on that button, then you can do 10 at a time rather than just 1.
Cool. Okay.
And then if you right-click on the actual button itself, it'll clear it down to 0.
Oh, cool. Okay. So let's add... let's really make it hard for these roaches. Add some more napalm. I like when they explode in their fiery mass.
It's great when one of the very first ones explodes and sets all of them on fire in one sweeping motion. It's wonderful. It's beautiful to behold.
It's just glorious of giant flaming death cockroaches.
Originally, it was designed to display the Twitch name of whoever had generated these bombs. You can see there are Twitch commands up at the top. If you plug them into Twitch, it would have generated a bomb on the map. That's what it was originally. It would have displayed their name. Instead, at the moment, it just displays my name because beta, and it's self-promotion. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
It's all
good. I might be so. I'm not sorry.
Hey, you worked hard on this. It's totally fine. Self-promotion.
And that's basically you done with the you done setting up?
I think that's quite a few. Maybe let's, for good measure, one more thing on napalms.
And then to go, you just click the roach in the middle, the big button at the top.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see who survives. All right, so we got a couple that already caught on fire. Got some boosts.
Oh, he goes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Let's see this guy. Let's see if he survives.
On fire and he's on. Nearly.
Oh, he's almost there. And turn back around.
Oh,
he's gonna die.
Wait, click on him. Find out which idiot did that.
He was Gem. Okay.
Gem's
so
we
got
idiot.
2 that survived. And the spiders are now being released. Okay, we got a couple over here going on the hunt. We found the group of them down here. Man, we need... Oh, Jesus Christ, so many spiders. We still need 3 to survive. Oh, Jesus Christ, there's so many
zoom in
spiders.
the center. They're going to come in from the edges and herd them into the middle.
Oh, no, come on, man. You can make it. There's one more.
Oh,
Did he make it? He did. All right, we got another survivor. We got two
number
more.
4. Quick, to the center.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
So many spiders.
That's it.
All right, we got all 6. Somehow, even with all these spiders. So let's see what you're going to be making. All right, we got hot springs, ornamental, fish-eyed, shell, fossa, and apparatus.
Fossa. I don't know what fossa is. I'm going to have to look that one up. I've got a couple of ideas which are springing to mind, but until I find out exactly what fossa is, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up and figure that out.
Cool. Well, thank you for that, Katelyn. I hope that wasn't too much of a challenge trying to figure out how this game works.
Oh, no, it was pretty straightforward, and it was really fun to watch them all, like, slowly die.
Right, I'm going to take those prompts away into Photoshop and start throwing them together into something. Some sketches of something. I don't know yet. We'll find out shortly. I'll see you in a minute.
All right, see ya.
Thank you, Katelyn. Bye.
No problem. Bye.
Moving on into this section of the video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the game a bit later on. First, I'm going to apologise for my microphone in the first section of this video. It was slightly misaligned and the sound got a bit muffled, so it is fixed now. So with that out of the way, I should talk about the painting and the prompts and things that I have in front of me. Now, there are only really 2 animal prompts there. There's fossa and shell. And then you've got fish-eyed as well, which I think is more referring to a fish-eyed lens, but I'm interpreting it as literal fish eyes. With that, I can combine that with ornamental, and I've got an ornamental fish that I can combine in as well. That just leaves hot springs and apparatus, or apparatus. I'm not sure. Both of those words sound wrong to me, but I'm just going to stick with apparatus. I think that's the one that comes naturally to me. That one's a little bit more complicated just simply because it immediately to me conjures up idea of scientific apparatus, but I didn't really want to go that way because it would probably end up leading to some kind of weird science experiment on the animal. I didn't really fancy that as a subject matter for this picture. So I interpreted it instead for musical apparatus. Linking that in with the ornamental prompt, I can suggest that this is in some way some kind of an offering at some kind of ornamental shrine to this animal, whatever it ends up being. And then tying all of these prompts together, I wanted to incorporate in the hot springs. And this is where having some kind of an understanding or doing some research into an environment or one of the prompts can lead you down a path that maybe you weren't expecting on going down initially in the first place. My initial concept was to have something a little bit more akin to an otter or some kind of a mammalian creature which was living in these springs. But I was really struggling in trying to figure out how to fit the shell into that scenario. And so I figured that perhaps the shell isn't actually part of this creature at all. Perhaps this is actually its prey. Maybe there are these giant snail-like creatures in this area that this animal feeds on, because hot springs aren't known for having a lot of prey in them. There's a lot of microorganisms and maybe some algae and things, which is going to be good for some kind of herbivorous creature like a snail, but not so great for something more like a bear or a lion, which was where I wanted to go with this creature. Basing it on the fossa, I figured making it some kind of an alpha predator in the area, but maybe not something that's going to be in any way threatening to a human. That would give it the ability that people could actually get up to this creature and pray to it and deliver things to its shrine. This is the sort of thing that I really like thinking about as I'm designing a creature, trying to just place it into the world and trying to figure out how it lives in this world and how the world works around it. That kind of thing can really add a lot of a dimension to a picture. So once I had a thumbnail that I was happy with, I created a new project and expanded that to fill the area and did a very quick pass over to clean up some of the line work and bring out some of the perspective and the anatomy that I wanted to draw focus to. But as always, I don't tend to do a really refined line art. I tend to refine as I go and use the line art as a very loose base. To apply my local colours rather than doing them individually and building up a layer as I normally would, instead I went with a much quicker method and slightly cheaty method of taking the reference photos directly that I had used to create the sketches and layering them over in a single layer and blurring it out, so that I could get some of the colours that I really liked from those references in the areas of the picture that I wanted them without actually using the photos themselves. I'm not using any of the shapes or the actual anatomy or geometry or anything from those pictures. The pictures disappear entirely. It's just the colours that I'm interested in here. It's just a very quick way of layering in that initial layer of colour. Now, the harp that I mentioned at the beginning of this voiceover is actually the harp that was used to play the music that you heard at the beginning of the video. That was the music that was initially going to be placed into the game, and in the final version, that was all in. I'd actually completed the game. It was literally maybe just a day or so away from being complete and finished when everything went wrong. So unfortunately, that music is not in this current version of the game, but at the very least, the harp that played the music is in this picture that came from the game. So thank you to my friend Matt, who recorded that music for me, all the music for the game that you heard at the beginning of the video there. And the final thing that I wanted to talk about for this particular picture was the lighting and the atmosphere that I used. Because this is a complicated environment, there's a lot of things going on in order to make it look right and give the right impression and feeling that I wanted to convey. So one of those things is that in an environment such as this, light gets scattered around the place a lot. It has a lot of surfaces to bounce off, very light surfaces from the mineral deposits from the hot springs, as well as obviously the steam itself is going to be scattering and bouncing that light around the place. So what effect this has is there's going to be a lot of bounced light, but there's also going to be a minimal of shadows as well. It's actually kind of related to how on a very cloudy day then you don't necessarily get a lot of shadows on the ground. It's a similar kind of thing. So in order to sell that effect, I used a lot of very desaturated colours and very pastel colours. I actually also used a chalk brush that I don't tend to use as well, just to really add some of that soft texturing into it, so that it really helped to sell that overall steamy and soft lighting feel to the whole picture. And that's really it for this particular piece. It was mostly painted on a single layer, as most of my paintings tend to be these days. And I'm really happy with the result. It's definitely not what I initially imagined. Like I said, I initially thought I was going to be drawing something more seal or otter-like, and it turned into this ornamental fish thing. I don't know what you'd call it. If you've got a name for this guy, leave it down in the comments below. Anyway, the game that I have created, it is broken. It's not a game as such. It has no win conditions or anything like that. It is essentially a glorified random number generator, but it is kind of customizable. You can change the list of prompts that it selects from. At the moment, I think there's 717 prompts in total, and that's just a text file that you can add more to, so that's ever expanding. I can continue adding prompts to that, or I can change it out for some other list as well if I want to choose, I don't know, from a list of subscribers or something. I don't know. There's a lot of different uses for it that I haven't quite scratched the surface of yet. And it really does lend itself to this kind of project in that you get a completely randomized set of prompts. There's a good chance that you're not going to get any animal prompts from this thing at all, so you have to really stretch your imagination and research the prompt itself to get ideas of how to incorporate it into a final piece. And that being said, I think we're pretty much finished up with this final piece, so why don't we leap on back into the studio so that we can reveal this beast to Katelyn, and there I've also got a little bit of a reveal for you guys as well, so stick around for that. Okay, Katelyn, are you ready to see this creature creation that I have created for you?
Yeah, I'm excited. Some of those prompts you got, I'm excited to see how you converted them into something.
I'm just gonna give you a countdown and just reveal. So we're gonna go on 0, I guess. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and there we go.
Whoa!
Okay, so there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there is. It's so cool, though.
I had a real struggle trying to figure out how to incorporate all those different prompts together. I wasn't sure about fish-eyed. I think that it was probably intended to be like a fish-eyed lens, but I gave the fossa fish eyes, and I thought, well, go with an ornamental fish. That's 3 of the prompts covered. So we've got an ornamental fish-eyed fossa in a hot spring with a musical apparatus and living in a shell. That's what I was going for.
That's awesome. Like, holy crap, you went into so much detail. I love, like, the guy kneeling in the front and, like, the hot spring mistiness to it. It looks so sick.
I love me a bit of atmosphere to go along with things, and having an excuse to put in some fogging and things absolutely ticked all the boxes for me.
Yeah.
And then just as an extra tidbit, that harp in the background, that harp is actually the harp that the music for the Roaches game was played on.
Oh, that's awesome.
I figured that I owed the musician who wrote that music for me that, just to immortalize his harp in the final picture.
That is super cool. Like, that's such a, like, fun little extra tidbit in there. I love it.
Katelyn, thank you so much for joining me on this exploration into creature creation with this destruction of roaches game that I've designed, and I'm hoping that everybody here is excited to hear that I have actually managed to get the game running and functioning enough that I can release it on itch.io. It's available for you guys to go and check out and download for free. So you can head on over there. You can also use that page to donate to the channel if you fancy supporting future videos and content.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you got the game going.
I'm really happy. It did take getting it banned on Twitch to get it to work properly, at least so that everybody else can enjoy it as much as we have. But it is now working, so you guys, I hope you enjoy it.
That's awesome. Nice job, man.
Thank you. Anyway guys, thank you. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also head on over to subscribe to Katelyn's as well if you haven't already. The link will be in the description and on the end screen. And as always guys, take care, back up your work, and I will see you next time.
Bye guys.
Anyway, hang on, how do I end my videos again?